Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Kim with Desktops Gaming. I wanted to take a quick look at this DarkFlash V22 again before we break it all down. Just touch over a few things that I realized while we were building it. First thing, I do really like this swinging tempered glass panel. Been a big fan of the hinge design for a while. That's why I enjoyed my Antec P120 case so much. Just something a little different from the normal, thumb screws. So this one having little clips and magnets that hold it in place, make it really nice. Hinge comes off pretty easy. You can just lift that off there, so if you're ready to get inside the case, it gets out of the way. Like I said, looking on the interior of the case, like I said, really like this kind of different vertical layout. First time really building in a vertical layout case. So if you can get a good shot of it in there, yeah, you can see everything. So with this style layout, like I said, your I/O is all coming out of the top. So if you actually lift this little top off here, where normally you would have some type of dust filter, regular dust filter, or where you might mount an AO up top, this one still has a mesh top for some ventilation and some filtration there. But like so that's where your I/O is going to be routed through. So coming up through the top instead of out the rear of the case is normal. It has a pretty nice little grommet back here, so we can actually just tilt this towards the camera a bit so you can actually see. So you can actually see this is your I/O, and it has this nice little cable routing hook here. So you can still plug in everything through this back grommet here. That's right here. So like I said, you can actually run everything out the back of the case still, but you don't have the normal I/O mounted on the back here. Instead, it's still all coming out of the top. So you still have good front panel, good front panel intake here. Like I said, with these, you can still mount a 360 up front if you wanted to. Like I said, it has a normal 240 in the back, which is what we went with here. So I like this idea because it does give direct airflow into the GPU, which is nice. Like I said, never experienced any crazy temps on this 2070 Super here, this Aorus 2070 Super. I figured with this style setup, we'd end up just kind of heat soaking our AO here for the CPU, which honestly wasn't the case. I still had plenty of ventilation coming through. Like the temp stayed around 73, 74 C under a pretty heavy load of both the card and the CPU loaded, just kind of running firm arc, and then add a little blender render in the background just to kind of load both things to see what the max of the case would be. Pretty adequate side panel and ventilation here. Pretty easy to take off as well, so you just give this little pump here, and the front panel will come off. Really sturdy, no flex here at all. Like I said, you do have a decent amount of ventilation here on the sides. And it has this nice kind of, again, magnetic lifting dust filter in the front, so you can actually just kind of flip this off and then pop it off to remove, so you can actually just flip that out, take it off, clean it, install it back. We're using the MF120 GT fans here from Deepcool. Really solid fans. They look really nice, but like I said, static pressure inside is good as well. So that makes it pretty easy to get good airflow through. And we use the same thing on the 120 Castle AO in the back. Doesn't come stock with these, but I think they do look nicer. We use some Teamgroup XCalibur RAM in this guy, just 16 gigs. While we were doing our testing, it's on the X570 Aorus Elite motherboard here, and we got a 3600X installed with just some easy DIY fab, black and white extension cables there. So like I said, again, overall, been a really solid case to work in. Haven't really had any qualms with it. Again, being my first kind of vertical mount vertical mount case to work in. Overall, we think it's a solid case. We want to thank DarkFlash again for sending this one over to us to check out. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment on either this post or DM through Instagram if you've been looking for a kind of vertical mounted motherboard case. I think this one's been really solid. Kind of sticks with that that NZXT H1 vibe, that similar mid-tower form factor. So I think this is a form factor many people will enjoy, and it's really roomy to build in, especially if you're trying to avoid any kind of a GPU sag. Like I said, I don't have any, even with the card as heavy as this is, don't have any sag here. So again, like I said, if you have any questions, hit us up. Thank you. This has been Desktops Gaming.